It's 4-0 Atlanta as we go to the top half of inning 2. Matt Williams, Kevin Bass, Terry Kennedy to up against Rick Mahler. Williams comes in hot with 10 home runs in his last 20 games and 22 homers on the season. Line toward left field. Tommy Gregg's going to have to play it on the hot base hit for Matt Williams. So leadoff single for Williams gives the Giants their first hit of the night. And that'll bring up Kevin Bass, the right fielder. Bass, another of those who have been on and off the injured list this year. His left knee kept him out of action from June 19th all the way through July 22nd. Had to go back to the minors, do a little rehab work.
With Rick Mahler having the lead, Braves leading the Giants, look for the Giant veteran hitters to pick on the first pitch a little more often.
Fastball, strike, 0-1. And with 8 home runs this season, 3 of them here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. It's even now, 1 ball, 1 strike, and Kevin Bass. Pete Van Wieren, Don Sutton with you from Atlanta. Game 2 of his 4-game series. Braves beginning the night 2.5 back of the Dodgers. The Giants are in 4th place, 8 games out. Cincinnati making a little move now. They're 5.5 out in between Atlanta and San Francisco in 3rd place. Nobody out. Williams the runner at first. Two and 1 the count on Kevin Bass. That's Bill Fahey in the coaching box at 3rd for the Giants. Wendell Kim takes care of the job at first. 2-2 as he got the fastball by him. Now the 2-2 on the way, ripped into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. And the Giants making some noise here in the second. Runners first and second, nobody out on back-to-back singles by Williams and Bass. Now, we told you a while ago that the Dodgers lost Alfredo Griffin with a fractured cheekbone in last night's game. They called up Jose Offerman from Albuquerque. Offerman just made an error in the bottom half of the second inning, allowing a Cincinnati run to score. It's 1-0 Reds. Reds still batting, bottom of the second. Here's Terry Kennedy. He's at .225 with 3 homers and 10 RBIs.
When you watch his stroke, Pete, he is called a sweep hitter. He doesn't snap the bat and roll his wrist through the area. He just sweeps it through. That means that he is going to be much more effective against off-speed stuff than he is fastballs inside.
Looped into shallow center field. Ronnie Gann on the run is going to have to play it on the hop. And the bases are loaded. The runners had to hold up a bit to see if Gann could catch the ball on the fly. And the natives getting a little restless here in Atlanta as the Braves with a 4-0 lead are letting the Giants right back into it.
Take a look at Williams. He's got to make sure that's not caught. He's trying to follow the flight of the ball. He sees Gant coming in a hurry. Safe thing to do because he knows he can always get to third after the ball falls in, but he can't always get back if the catch is made.
So they're loaded with nobody out for Greg Litton, who comes in at 164. He has a homer and 14 RBIs. He's at shortstop tonight. Infield double play depth. There's a called strike. When you look at Rick Mahler, he's been pitching professionally since 1975. And the one amazing note on him, he has never gone on the disabled list with an arm problem His only time spent in the DL came with a groin pull last year. There's the curveball, foul back 0-2.
Did you see the cut Litton took? Tell me what he was looking for on that pitch.
It wasn't what he got.
That's right. You'll see guys against a pitcher like Rick Mahler come up and guess and look for a certain pitch because they figure Rick's fastball is not hard enough to knock him off the plate, to back him away. So you'll see more guessing against a Mahler than maybe you would against a Tom Glavine or a John Smoltz.
Kennedy at first, Bass at second, Williams at third, nobody out. 4-0 Atlanta. Top half of the second. And an 0-2 pitch on the way to Litton. Threw him a curveball, chopped toward third. Terry Pendleton will take the safe out at first. Williams scores. RBI number 15 for Litton. And it's now 4-1. Bass moves over to third. Terry Kennedy down to second. And now the pitcher, Paul McClellan, who has gone 1 for 5 since coming up from Phoenix. A ball and no strikes on McClellan. 9th meeting of the year between the Braves and the Giants. The season series has been split to this point. Each side has won 4, and 9 meetings left. It's 1-1 now on the Giants pitcher, Paul McClellan. McClellan, another California native. Giants have an awful lot of players on their roster from California. He was born in San Mateo. Two balls and a strike now on McClellan. Up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Kevin Bass scores. Terry Kennedy will be held at third. And the Giants have cut the Braves lead in half. It's now 4-2 as McClellan drives in his first run ever. Leo Mazzoni on his way to the mound.
Mahler got behind in the count to the pitcher. Had to come in with a fastball. Hit it right back up the middle. Bass scored easily. They're not taking any chances. They held Kennedy at third, so first and third with 1 out.
And activity begins now in the Atlanta bullpen. Jim Clancy, recently acquired from Houston, begins to throw. Part of the Houston house cleaning. All the veterans on that ball club finding employment elsewhere as the season has progressed. So much so that over the weekend, I believe it was, that Houston had their family day scheduled, where the dads were going to play the kids. They didn't have enough kids. There's so many young players and bachelors over in that Houston. They only had like 13 kids. So the wives and the girlfriends. Yeah, wives and girlfriends were allowed to play in that game.
Probably the same result, though, 46-0.
I'm sure. There's your score here, 4-2 Atlanta. 1 out, runners first and third. And Willie McGee, who grounded out to second, is the batter. He takes a strike, 0-1. Paul Runge gives you that strike call in stereo. Watch the next time Runge calls a strike. He does it twice. Right back to the pitcher. Double play ball. McGee beats it. In to score is Terry Kennedy with run number 3 of the inning to make it 4-3. McGee gets his 23rd RBI.
Ball was hit fairly sharp. It was quick enough to turn the double play, but you're dealing with a fast guy coming out of the left-handed batter's box. Gave Blauser a good feed. He unloaded the first, but McGee gets down there in a hurry. Take a look from this angle. The good feed from Mailer to Blauser. Blauser unloads. But the right call at first. McGee beats it.
So 3 runs are in here for the Giants. It's 4-3 now, Atlanta. And here's Robbie Thompson, who flied to right his first time up, taking ball 1 low and away. And the 1-0 pitch is upstairs, 2-0. Mailer struggling here in the second.
Beat Brazier at the time of the year right now. I know everybody likes to have a happy ball club and have everybody pleased and liking everybody else. But right now, they're legitimate contenders. 2.5 out, a chance to win. You can't make everybody happy now. You got to be a little bit selfish and go for whatever it takes to win. That's one of the reasons Clancy's up.
And the count now goes to 3-0 on Robbie Thompson.
I know everybody on the roster would like to get playing time. Every pitcher would like to get innings, but you make people happy early in the year, and you make them happy in spring training. Right now, the name of the game is to win.
There's a strike. Called once, called twice by Paul Runge. Left channel, right channel. Count goes to 3-1.
That's in case we're simulcasting.
Runner going, 3-1 pitch, cut on, missed. Olson's throw to second won't get him. Stolen base, Willie McGee had it beat easily. That's his 12th of the year, and the count full now, 3-2 on Robbie Thompson. And that point you just made, Don, it's true of the players too. If the team's in the second division this stage of the season and a guy's not playing, he's probably going to be complaining about it. Now you hear the same phrase from every player. I'm just want to do whatever it's going to take for us to win. Whatever they want me to do to help this club win, I will do.
And the reason I bring the point up is Clancy's up throwing in a hurry, but how often are you going to get 4 runs early in the ballgame to play with, and you can't waste them?
There's the 3-2 foul back. Still a full count on Robbie Thompson. They've completed 2 now in Cincinnati. It's 1-0. Reds leading the Dodgers. And down to first goes Robbie Thompson, and a long second inning continues for Rick Mailer. That's the second walk he's issued. And no doubt this is the man Mailer has to get to stay in the game, Will Clark, who walked his first time up. And you see the damage that Will Clark has done this year in spots like this, particularly in the second half. He's the 8th man to bat here in the top of the second. Fouled away, 1-1 on Will Clark. Mailer falling behind Clark, 2-1.
And the natural tendency as you become an older player, when you make some good pitches and give up some hits, is to try to make a little bit better pitches and try to get the hitters to chase the ball just out of the hitting area. Disciplined hitters just don't do it.
It's 3-1 now on Will Clark, and Mailer 1 pitch away perhaps from loading him up. Terry Pendlin's going to come over and try to settle Rick Mailer down a bit. Will Clark will step in there. He always has that look on his face, so determined, almost looks like a little kid who just got his candy taken away. But he is a gamer. Didn't mean to. Mailer can't get to it. Pendleton does, and throws out Will Clark. Well, the Braves got a break there. Clark was trying to check his swing, and it turns out to be out number 3. But the Giants are right back in it after scoring 3 in the top half of the second. It's 4-3 Braves after 1.5.
This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
We're in the bottom half of the second inning, and a lot's going on here. It's 4-3 Atlanta. Rick Mailer leads off against Paul McClellan. Both starters still in there. There's a called strike 0-1. Mailer's always been a pretty good hitting pitcher, 154 this year. And it's 0-2 on Rick Mailer. Good catch made upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes now. The Braves pitcher, Otis Nixon, will follow, then Jeff Treadway. Lazy into shallow left center, Willie McGee. Puts it away, 1 down. And now Otis Nixon, who drew a walk to lead off the first inning, stole his 59th base of the year and then scored on Terry Pendleton's 3-run homer. Otis Nixon's played in the major leagues all or part of every season since 1983. When he gets his next hit, it'll be the first time he's ever had 100 hits in a season. Nothing in 1, the count on Nixon. That ball trickling right along the line. He kept on going in case it kicked back into fair territory.
How satisfying that must be for Otis Nixon, and how frustrating it must be for the defensive ball club, because they know he's going to do it. You set up a defense to try to short circuit it, and what does he beat out? 3 out of every 4 probably.
1 out, base is empty, and a count of 0-1 on Otis Nixon. Loop to left field. Mitchell had him played shallow, didn't have far to go to make the catch. 2 down. And now Jeff Treadway, who had an infield hit in the first. McClellan missing downstairs, ball 1. It's even now, 1-1 on Jeff Treadway. 4 runs, 3 hits for Atlanta. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Giants. We're in the bottom half of inning 2. And this will be an easy inning for Paul McClellan. He gets the Braves 1, 2, 3. So nothing doing for Atlanta in the second. At the end of 2, score remains Atlanta 4, San Francisco 3. We move to inning number 3. Braves leading at 4-3 up in Cincinnati after 3. It's Cincinnati 1, the Dodgers nothing. They go to the 4th inning. Kevin Mitchell will lead off against Rick Mailer here in the 3rd. Mitchell flying to right his first time. One ball, no strikes to Kevin Mitchell. Mitchell, Williams, and Bass due up here in the 3rd. Foul away, 1-1. Got a couple of special hellos we want to pass along today. One to Mrs. Betty Mao in Missoula, Montana. Never misses a Braves broadcast. And another to Braves employee Mary Helen Huggins, receiving some treatment down in Houston. We hope she's doing well and hope she gets back to work quickly.
And Hillard Glover, 26 years with the Braves, is recuperating over at Crawford Long Hospital. Certainly hope that's a speedy recovery for Hillard.
Look out, Kevin Mitchell. He is hurt. I'm not sure where that ball got him, but it didn't hit the helmet. Did it get him on the arm? Did he get the arm up, do you think, Don?
It looked like it hit him on the outside of the wrist, Pete. Certainly not intentional by Rick Mahler. You recall we said earlier, for him to be effective against the Giants, he has to establish that fastball in. He has to be able to pitch up. Here he's just trying to back Mitchell off the plate. The fastball runs in, and as he throws his hands up, tries to get out of the way, either the back of the left hand or the left wrist, but it hit it solidly. Looking from this angle, there goes the hand up. It looks like it's right on the back of the left hand. And the reason you could tell it was hit solidly, look, the ball only went about 3 feet away. They're cutting the batting glove off, so it appears to be the back of his left hand.
He had some surgery at the end of last season to remove some bone chips from his right wrist. This is the left wrist, and it hit it flush.
You see guys get hit every now and then and hurt, and you think that it's only by guys like Nolan Ryan and Rob Dibble and 90-mile-an-hour throwers, but that baseball, anytime it's going 80 miles an hour or so, if it hits you in a vulnerable spot, and certainly in the back of the hand, could damage a lot of the bones in there. Hope it's nothing serious for Kevin Mitchell.
Usually in a case like this, if there's any question at all, the player will be taken out of the game and precautionary x-rays will be taken. But it appears that Kevin Mitchell is going to try to stay in the game.
Just kept following him. He tried to back out of there. His style of hitting is to just dive into the ball. See the hitch and the dive? But the ball just kept following him out of there. His first concern, and you could see it, was to get his head and his helmet out of the way.
Well, now that Mitchell is okay, apparently, and will stay in the game and go down to first base, Rick Mahler will not stay in the game. Bobby Cox out to the mound. Jim Clancy being called in from the Braves bullpen, and Rick Mahler will be lifted after working 2 innings, facing just 1 man here in the 3rd. He's given up 4 hits, 3 runs to this point. The runner at first belongs to him. He walked 2, did not record a strikeout, and just hit 1 man. It'll be Jim Clancy pitching to Matt Williams right after this.